Welcome back, Wednesday people, to Grand Prix World, where we're beginning our 2002 season with arrows and hopefully treating Giancarlo Fisichella's inexplicable depression. We have testing to make happen because we've got some serious problems to address in our car. You'll notice down here that we've got all the little boosters and little cool things going on. We're going to drop a butt ton of money into this car straight away. That's $500,000 straight out of the gate. We have much to achieve and not much time to achieve it with if we want this championship. So 70, 10, 10, 10 I think is reasonable. You are mainly tyres and engine. Oh god, this is difficult. Because we want to be able to get on with our development. Yeah, I think that's a reasonable split, and we'll just stop doing Forschung testing. Okay, let's punch it and see if we've been lucky. Well, I'd hope for better, but it's not too bad. Let's see if we can already begin working on our car. No, we can't. But we can begin upgrading various things. So we've got some engine points to spend. Let's spend those. Straight onto reliability and power. Right, tyres. That's the hard tyre, that's the soft tyre. That's the intermediate, and wow, the wet is horrible. That is horrible. We have some bad tyres. I'm going to invest early in the hard tyre. Oh man, I hope it does. I hope we don't get heavy rain early in the season because those tyres are shocking. We'll make a decision over the next few rounds as to whether we want to upgrade the factory again. We don't really know yet how much sponsor cash monies we're going to be getting. We already have a deal in place for the team sponsor, which is good. We don't have an engine deal in place, and we need to decide which one we're going to go for. And we need a new fuel deal. And I'm tempted to make a play for... Who do we want? Let's go for Mobile. We'll make an early play for Mobile. On the engine front, it's really hard to say. For us, it's down to Ferrari, Mercedes, Peugeot or Ford. We've been toying with the idea of Ford for a while. I think what we might do is split 15% between... I'll split 20% between everyone and see what kind of deals people are open to. We will treat Peugeot as our preferred partner and invite them to the Grand Prix. But we'll just use that first turn to put some feelers out. And on the money front, more money, more problems. We will go for PIAA and FedEx, since they gave us a multi-year deal last time. And we'll have to hope that 10 people is enough to get. It's not, but that's fine. Okay, we will invite Pugot, FedEx and PIAA to our opening Grand Prix. Actually, I'll ditch PIAA and bring Red Bull, so we're nice and friendly like. Okay, so that's a reasonable start. We've got some cars to repair and some setups to produce. And we have to set up our drivers for round 1, and I'm tempted to get them to push a little bit harder. To push it real good, as it were. Rubens Barrichello has retired, and the Concorde money has arrived. Okay. I'm going to turn Fisichella down 1 notch on everything. And Deniz 2 notches. Actually, no. It's the opening round. It's the first Grand Prix. Let's just see what we can achieve. It might be that we get a reliability kick in the bollocks from doing this, but that's fine. Okay, we'll set up for... So that's hot weather with extra braking downforce and speed, and I'll do that for both cars because why the devil not? Both cars will be running the soft compound with all the driver aids that we have available. So soft compound on both cars. That engine is a worry for me. The hard compound is a worry for me. Any rain is going to cause us a problem. We don't know how the car works. Historically, our cars have not worked particularly well in high temperatures, but this is one scenario where all the components will work better in warm, dry conditions. We're going to keep spying on Jordan because it's Jordan. Let's get ourselves going. 24 degrees and dry. So not our usual stomping ground. Best of luck. Nice, 3rd and 4th. Johnny Newhouse puts it on pole for McLaren, which none of us was expecting, on a 1:30.149. David Coulthard 2nd for Benetton, a 1:32.43. We out-qualify the McLaren of Luca Badoa and Jarno Trulli's Benetton. Williams seem to have found something magical underneath the sofa, and they qualify 7th and 8th, which is their best qualifying in an entire season. Jordan, however, have gone backwards quite drastically, and I have no explanation for why that is. As have Prost. Prost have sunk to the bottom of the timing boards. Intriguing. Minardi and Stewart are about where they were before, except they've both been leapfrogged by Williams. I honestly think we're the team to beat here. That's my genuine analysis. I know we've been out-qualified by Newhouse and Coulthard here, but they are two of the best drivers in the game, and the gap is tiny, and I think over race distance, particularly if we get a hard tyre that works well for us, I think it could be on here. 25 degrees and dry with a very strong wind. We do like strong wind, generally, our cars. Fresh tyres for all concerned. That's our election pledge. Okay, boys, don't let me down, Peugeot, don't let me down. Goodyear, definitely don't let me down. It's good. It's a good start. I can't hear the music. It's a 1-2 straight out of the gate. Giancarlo Fisichella takes a win on his debut for the Arrows Peugeot, ahead of Pedro Diniz by 10 seconds. But still an excellent performance from Diniz as well, who finishes 2 seconds clear of Johnny Newhouse's McLaren, which is powered by Ford again this year, who takes 3rd. Benetton, I think it's Benetton Mercedes still, puts a 4th position on the board for Jarno Trulli. Eddie Irvine takes Williams' first points in an entire season with 5th, and Luca Badoa finishes 6th for McLaren. The major casualties, both Tyrrells for various reasons. Mika Salo's Minardi, Alexander Wutz's Jordan both had accidents. Andrea Montemini Stewart had a brake failure. Driver error for Shinji Nakano in the Prost. Hydraulic failure for David Coulthard's Benetton, and hydraulic failure for Juan Pablo Montoya's Sauber. Sauer's his debut at the Swiss team. I'm really pleased with that. I am very, very pleased with that, considering there was so much that could potentially have gone wrong. We couldn't have hoped for a better session, really. I don't understand why our cars traditionally don't show their form in qualifying. I have no explanation for that. However, we couldn't have asked for a better beginning to our 2002 season than that. That means we convincingly lead the Constructors' Championship after a massive one round. Let's see what's going on in the news. Giancarlo Fisichella is extremely happy to have won his first Grand Prix. Johnny Newhouse took the first pole of the season. Pedro Niz wants to win a race. Well, that's fine. I'm sure we can make that happen for you at some point. McLaren is very happy to have both cars in the top 6. Giancarlo Fisichella got the fastest lap, which sort of emphasises our dominance here. Ekrem Sami will be joining Jordan. We sold part of the team, and Frank Williams has been named Manager of the Month, which is kind of fair enough, I suppose. Right, we've got some people to sign. Do we want to keep John Barnard? I think we do. Let's see. No, that's not looking good. I could see us taking a step backwards this season, but we'll give it a chance. Nigel Stepney is signed already. Luke Bigoir is signed already. Could we pick up Mike Gascoigne and fire him? Because he's going to get signed for 2 seasons or something, and it's just money that we don't need to spend. I will give it a yeah, I'll give it a round, and I'll wait for you guys to give me your feedback there. We've made a healthy profit, which is pleasing to me, and we're going to hire some staff on the back of that to strengthen our operations even further. The wear on the cars is not too shabby. Has Fisichella got over his morale problem? He's beginning to. I think that was a good start for him. We have got some upgrades somewhere. Yep. We've got reliability upgrades a go-go. I'm going to put 20% on this now and save 10% for hopefully the 2002 B-Spec. And I'll install that upgrade right away. We don't want this reliability to be an issue any longer than absolutely necessary. I'm going to invest in a shit ton of spare parts as well, because we're going to develop this car pretty heavily, because I think this season is going to be the easiest of our championships if we win multiple championships, just because it seems that neither McLaren nor Benetton have really got their shit together, and Williams are on the comeback trail. Ferrari are out of the picture. I don't see it being easier than this. I think we do have enough money to upgrade the factory, but we'll look at that again in the next episode. I just want to crack on through. This will be a slightly shorter episode because you've already had an hour of footage today. Let's have a look at what the engine deals are offering. We can get a works deal from Ford very easily, 1 season, 8.2 million. A 1 season works deal with Ferrari is a little bit harder to attain, 11.8 million. So that's the offer to beat, I suppose. Mercedes are offering 11.4 million for a single season deal, and Peugeot are offering 11.4 million for a single season deal. Well, I think Ford are out of the picture just because of the cash they were offering was no good. I would go so far actually as to say Mercedes-Benz might be the way to go for us. Then again, we could get the Ford deal really easily and just hope we could make the money up elsewhere. No, you can probably tell I've got a slight bias towards switching to Ford because they've been so dominant recently, but I think we're about to enter a Mercedes era, so I hope you guys don't mind me making an executive decision, but I'm going to chase Mercedes first of all, because they're offering the combination of a joint highest bid, and actually, it's not a joint highest bid, is it? Ferrari's offering the most money, but it's only 400,000. Yeah, it's only $500,000. Like I say, like it's a throwaway comment. We can get a 2-season deal and $3 million from Mobil. I'm going to use my success card on that actually because it's a multi-year. get that out of the way. Federal Express are only offering a 1-season deal this time, 2 seasons from PIAA, so we know who to invite to our party. Mercedes-Benz, Mobil are going somewhere else, but that's fine. PIAA, and I guess FedEx, since we've got no one else on the books at the moment. Okay, got some more testing to run. It's a little bit more expensive again this time, but that's fine. We will run it exactly the same as last time, except I'm going to put some extra people on the tyre test. Actually, you know, I might do this. I know it's kind of brave to only have 50% of the testing be on setup, but I think we're wasting potential by over-testing on the setup. So let's run that. Yeah, we were completely. And that means look at that. We could have done Fruition testing as well, I feel. So this is the corner the team's turning. Look at that, we've already got 80% handling score on this car, which shows you just how absolutely fantastic it is. I'm gonna leave. I'll move people off the 2003 car for now. But once that driver aid is complete, that's going to be that. Let's get on with upgrade work. So we've already got our Evo 1 Peugeot power unit. We're going to go for the Evo 2 straight away. And again, we're going to go after reliability and power, and we'll get rigidity in early and try and sort of evenly distribute those points. We're going to upgrade our wet weather tyre early in the season, because I'm really not happy with it at all. It's rubbish. And I know we might not need it for a few rounds, but it is just unacceptably bad. And we will have to, I mean, tyres are going to have to be our focus for development, I think. The engine's already looking quite good since we've got this ability to basically develop our way out of trouble. And the testing rig is proving to be a very, very valuable investment that I'm starting to wish that we got earlier. But I always invest in CAD and CAM early simply because you use those the most when you don't have the money to test. Okay, so we've invited all the sponsors. Everything's looking good generally. Let's go on to round 2 and we can wrap up this short episode. I'm going to keep them pushing because I didn't see any reason for concern. We will invest points here, here, and here, so the usual attributes there. And this is tough actually. I'll put a little bit more into good weather and slack wind. Okay, we've got a new power unit to slide into the back of our cars, and we've got a new hard compound tyre, but that's not really going to be any use to us. Yeah, it's just rubbish. I'll tell you what, we might test it since it's early in the season. I'll put the NIS on the hard compound and just see how it compares. I don't like to do favoritism like that early in the season. Previously, when we've run split strategies, because it's sort of been a covering our bases kind of thing. In this case, we're almost certain that the hard compound is going to be inferior, but whether its synergy with our car continues is the main question, so we'll try and figure that out in Brazil. 28 degrees, which is bad for us generally. Very dry. At least it's not going to rain before our wet weather tyres arrive. Dance puppets. And we take a pole position, our first ever Arrows pole position. Giancarlo Fisichella leading Pedro Diniz by a very narrow gap, actually. So the hard tyre is bad, but it works well with our car, or our car extracts the maximum potential from it. That's very, very cool indeed. We outqualify Johnny Newhouse in third by a full tenth and change. David Coulthard puts his Benetton fourth, and the McLaren of Luca Badoer is fifth. Eddie Irvine, another top six qualifying for him. Down in Losertown, Prost are a full second off the back of the Tyrrells. Tyrrells have fallen back into the clutches of the Saubers, and the Ferraris are still languishing way outside their comfort zone behind the Stewarts and Minardis. Jordan show no signs of early recovery, and Johnny Herbert doesn't seem to be having a particularly good time at Williams so far, but you know, he can come on later, I suppose. 28 degrees and very dry. Obviously it's great we've got a 1-2 on the grid, but that doesn't really guarantee us any success, so it's race day where it counts. However, let's not underestimate the importance of this achievement. That is our first pole position as a team, and a front row lockout no less. And as Mr. Casino, or Herr Casino, very rightly put it, it's very satisfying to see these decisions and investments we made over the last few seasons, and this sort of delayed gratification, if you will. The idea that we save money now and we accept a bad end of a season here to have what we need when we need it now. And this is where it's all coming alive. We're now able to test to such an extent, and it's not even, I would say we're running about 75% of absolute maximum potential in terms of test capability. But even at that level, we're able to develop so heavily that the reliability problem of the engine was a problem for a single round. Okay, here we go. Giancarlo Fisichella takes the win. Very, very convincingly, 6 seconds down the road from Johnny Newhouse's McLaren. Luca Badoer's McLaren finishes third, so double podium for McLaren there. Johnny Herbert fourth for Williams has a nice recovery drive. And the first point of the season for Stewart with Andrea Montemini, both Stewarts finishing the race, which is good. Engine failure for Pedro Diniz, not massively surprised to be honest. A lot of suspension failure going on with Magnussen, Marini and Wurz all out due to suspension problems. Brake failure for Eddie Irvine's Williams, engine failures as well for the Mercedes units of Benetton and Sauber, with Coulthard and Montoya respectively. Yeah, okay, not the best result. However, you know, we've come a long way where winning the race can be considered not the best result, you know, because we were aiming really for a double podium, but, you know, Giancarlo Fisichella still healthily leads the Drivers' Championship, and we're still 11 points clear at the top of the Constructors' pile. Bit sad that we did lose Pedro Diniz during the course of that race, but however, we're doing good work. I'm going to drop a TV advantage on the Mercedes deal because it seems we have some competition. And we have made another healthy profit, which is very, very good news. Let's see how we're getting on in Design World. Look at that, we've one-staged it straight into the CFD simulation phase now. The 2003 car, we still don't know if it's legal, but we're basically done with the first stage of that development. We've got a clutch reliability upgrade, which is very important. I'm going to invest in a brake performance upgrade next because we've got Monaco coming up before too long. And we should have a traction control system if it's legal. It was not, but that's okay because we just will redirect that 10% of our staff to working extra 5% on technology and an extra 5% on the 2003 car. Nice. We'll deploy that technology upgrade and I will call that an episode. I hope you don't mind there being so many videos in your inbox today, but I sort of thought, you know, I didn't intend that preamble to extend out as long as it did, but I sort of thought the pre-season and the opening 2 rounds on the same day kind of makes sense to me. I hope you agree. As always, please throw your comments in down below. Anything you'd like to see, anything that you think would spice things up for you a little bit. Maybe you want us to fire a driver, or you want to go after that Ford deal even though it represents a cut in money. Maybe you want to switch back to Bridgestone. Maybe you took a look at this and say, yeah, okay, we're winning, but I still think that despite their obvious hatred for us, Bridgestone make the better tyre. All of that's perfectly valid, and we will discuss it at length, so do slam that in down below. And beyond that, have a great evening. We're heading very much downhill towards Friday now, and hopefully you've been having an awesome week. You take care of yourselves, and we will talk soon.